Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so what we want to do is try to get as much information as possible, and we really want to give some feedback and also give a chance to the others to just give us a one-liner of what they got out of the event. So let's kick off immediately. I'm going to start sharing my screen. And also welcome to everybody that unfortunately did not attend the event. Oops, now I'm going too fast. So just a couple of pictures. Obviously, it was really nice to be able to do both events. The party on the Friday night was really very great, great in both places. So I thought to just share some pictures and the fun that we all had. It was really great. And something that really stood out for me was feedback from Tilo, our company director, with huge numbers. We've grown by 78%, 72% quarter one, 78%. Botswana's out of control, so we're really having a lot of feedback from Virginia's training, because this is like just blowing everybody over. The Lesotho's got nice growth because they've got a new pickup center there. Korea's got a great growth. Have a little bit of challenges with the orders and everything, but working through that. And then we see there's two markets where there's lots of place to go and work, which is Swaziland and Zambia. The other thing that was really great to see is that, we also saw that in the media, is that from the DSA, the stats say that the network marketing industry in South Africa dropped by 5%. I'm just going to manage our guys to make sure we don't have background noise. Sorry, guys. Let me just manage these participants that we can hear. I'm going to mute everybody. You can unmute yourself. So what basically happened is they dropped by 5%. We grew by 12%. So we're really doing better than them by about 17%. So we're very excited about that. And since we are bringing in so many new members, the company really has got a big focus on member activation, with the huge growth in the amount of new members we're bringing in, but they're not being activated. We've got too many zeros. The supervisor creation is also too slow. We're sitting on about 4%. So the company really wants us to focus on that, and then obviously to work ethical, to really do the right thing. Okay, Marie, over to you to share with us a little bit of what you got out of Dr. Chapeti's training.
Hi there, guys. It was absolutely amazing weekend last weekend. We were just in the Cape Town one with quite a few of our team there. It was absolutely awesome. Dr. Virginia Chapeti, her training really stood out for me, because it was also a very nice thing just to see the confirmation of what she's doing and what we have been starting to implement in our team as well. The big thing is, she said, your team does what you do. So you will see they duplicate exactly what you start doing. And the big thing for me, for her in her training, was how she structures and supports every single part of her team. So as you'll see there on the slide, like all her prospects, she takes them to Saturday shake parties, BBS's WhatsApp meetings and all that, and her team duplicates exactly that. They've got groups on WhatsApp for every part of the marketing plan. They've got groups for just the customers wanting to change their results. They've got one for members. Then they've got one that goes like with the journey from supervisor or from map to supervisor. And then the business builder group, which is quite amazing, that she says they have like a qualification. They have to do at least 1,500 volume points And obviously, if you do 1,500 volume points, you are a business builder and building towards something bigger. So yeah, that is the one thing that really stood out for me from her training. And yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I can't wait for the extravaganza. Thank you, Elsa.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so now I know that Howard has got some extension on a detailed training that he had with being at the BBS. Over to you, Howie. Mr. H?
Hi, Elsa. Yeah, thanks. Howard, yeah, it was a real emotional roller coaster. I've never seen so many tears flying at a leadership weekend. Firstly, for those of you who haven't sat in front of Virginia yet, she comes, when I say humble background, I mean humble. Her mom used to sell sweets and airtime next to the road. She was one of those little hawkers, and Virginia used to help her after school. And then when she finished school and waiting for her results, she was helping her mom. And somebody came up to her and they saw a book of hers, a textbook next to sitting on the table, and asked her if she could read. That gave her quite a shock, because a few hours later the results came out and she was one of the top students in Botswana. And then she qualified for free education, varsity education anywhere in the world, and they put her into Pretoria where she wanted to study medicine. And they gave her 800 Rand a month to live on. It wasn't enough. And so she was looking for an additional income. And then she joined Herbalife. And she used to buy, like, in the first year, like 23.95, one shake a month. That was where she was. So if you've got people in your team that are just buying one shake a month, you never know what's going to happen, where it's going to. And one month she did 150 volume points, and she got a congratulation message from Tony for doing 150 volume points, saying she's such a superstar. So she had never had recognition like this in her life before. It really changed her life. And to think that 6 months ago she was a millionaire team, basically making about 80,000 Rand a month, and like last month over 330,000 Rand. It's just unbelievable. But she said it's not a result. She's been working very hard for over a year now. So it hasn't just happened in the last couple of months. This is a result of work that was, the foundation was laid about a year ago. And she decided about a year ago she was tired of being at Multium and she wanted to change her PIN. And she got her leaders together and said, guys, we need to change our PINs. Who's in? And she got buy-in from her leadership. And then they sat down and they laid out a plan. And if she said to somebody, where do you want to be in 6 months' time? And they said, get, and then, which is 20,000 points. Then she would say to them, how are you going to do it? So they're going to say, they're going to recruit so many people, and they're going to do so many shake parties and do so much volume. And then every week they'd come back on a Sunday for a get-together, for a meeting, and to re-strategize and check their gauges. So some people say they want to do Get Team or want to do World Team, but they don't match it with the action. So she was doing weekly get-togethers and then checking the gauges to see if everybody was on track. So if you said you wanted to be World Team and you weren't doing any shake parties, you hadn't signed up anybody for the week, and it wasn't going to happen. So they could quickly put corrective action in place. And so her whole growth was planned. It was planned, weekly, monthly, 6 monthly. It was all planned, and they checked their gauges, and that's how it happened. So it's much easier to build a business close to home, as you can see, when you can get your leaders together. And if that's not possible, well, this MIT group and these Zoom calls are absolutely fantastic to get everybody together, even if they are far away. So hers was really a planned thing. And so that conversation from Tony, just congratulating her on 150 volume points, really changed her life. When they gave those stats, I mean, I've been doing the business now for 23 years. I don't ever remember South Africa showing growth of 72% in one quarter and 73% in another quarter. I mean, this growth from Botswana is absolutely off the charts. And this is all with low supervisor conversion. it is absolutely scary to think where we're going now. If we can convert more distributors to supervisors and up our recruiting, it's unbelievable where everybody can be. Because if Virginia is going from 80,000 to 300,000 volume points in 6 months, and that's not by herself, that is because that's her team all
It's in a
moving up
year.
the
I would say it's in a
plan as
year.
well.
Yes.
Beg
Yeah.
your pardon?
I said that's from
It's
August last year till this year. Yes, a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just absolutely
Crazy.
crazy. It just shows that with the structures in place, every single person in Herbalife has a chance now to succeed. It's got nothing to do with anything else. It's just work. And if you're not recruiting 10 people a month, it's going to be very difficult to achieve figures like this. If you're recruiting 1 or 2 people a month and then you're having to beg them to buy stock and they don't want to buy stock and you're demotivated. But if you're recruiting 10 people a month and 2 people say they only want to consume or 1 person drops out, it's no problem. You've got another 8 to work with. So it's really if you really want to get this thing moving, you really got to try and get to 10 a month. And, I mean, that's like just over 2 a week. It's not really, if you think about it that way, it's not really that much. So you must just find a method of operation, a daily method of operation that resonates with you, that you're happy with, and just work it and master your craft. And then it's really going to happen. One of the things that our special guest Super Mario said, you cannot motivate a zero. So look for new people. If you're not happy where you are, look for new people. Don't try and motivate a zero. It's not going to happen.
Okay, great.
Uh,
Thank you so much. I think we really need to work on that concept of the business builders and the guys that are ready. So we're very excited that we're going to be starting a business builder group, and we will send that out to everybody. And you've got to opt in when you feel you're ready to do the work and work with all of us. But like she says, it's important to have those different groups. So there was a couple of other stories that really, really stood out. Karina, do you want to share the story of this 19-year-old girl?
yes, she'd
No.
love to.
I wouldn't actually love to. And I'll tell you now in a minute. But yes, her name is Belle Westley. She's 19, and she was on stage. She didn't really tell us how she does her business, but I looked her up on Instagram, and she's got, I think, 14,000 followers on Instagram. And she just shows lifestyle and how she does her training, and every now and again, then she says, I help people to get fit and do training and whatever, and hit me up if you would like to join me. You can see her in the middle down there with the long hair and the white skirt. So she's 19. She's got 170 customers, 88 members. She activates them by explaining the marketing plan to them. And she started the business 5 months ago, and she made 33,000 with retail and 19,000 rand with her with wholesale. So 55,000 rands as a 19-year-old she made with Herbalife. So
Last month.
She started the business 5 months ago. And why I don't really want to share her story is that her mother used to be a downline distributor in my team, and she dropped out of the business, and then
Okay.
So we need to talk to everybody, guys.
We need to sometimes keep the zeros going. Okay. So I would like to ask a couple of people that I've asked to also share. I just wanted to touch, if anybody else wants to share the story of Susara's mom, that I also thought was really very special. But let me, Martie, is jy daar? Kan jy vir ons hierdie Susara se ma se storie vertel? Okay, I didn't prepare. Okay.
Oh, yes, no
Yes.
problem. Yes, I've got a very soft spot for Santi and for Susara. Now Santi and Susara for all my Herbalife time. So, Santi was retrenched of when she was age 71. And then she basically started doing Herbalife full time. Her daily method of operation is she really does everything: pamper parties, shake parties, follow up, hot call, cold call. She then she from World Team, she qualified Get Team, and for as she called herself a pensioner, she earns a very, very good income for herself. She lost weight. She looks 10 years younger than her age. She is so full of energy, and she is such an inspiration. And yeah, I was so emotional when mom and daughter thanked each other for having this opportunity of changing lives forever. So yeah, that was very special to me. The whole weekend was. Thank you.
Very emotional. Okay, great. So let's get to our special guest. It really got us our heads spinning and thinking. So it was really great. I'm going to ask from Ruan from last weekend. He couldn't really speak or give us a bit of feedback. Ruan, will you share what you got out of the event last weekend?
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So obviously, I think one thing that I can say that they say in Herbalife that you need to wait for that one meeting, and I think this was now the one meeting that has changed my whole mindset on doing this. This is the way to go, guys. Like I spoke to my mom, and she says, Herbalife works. You just need to make it work. You're the X factor. And what I obviously I resonated a lot with him, seeing as he had he has a twin brother in the business. He also has food camps, boot camps. But it's just he's one thing about him that stood out for me is that if you saw his volume points, that he started from nothing, and which means and which can everybody can say that doesn't matter where you are at this moment in the business, it's never too late, and and doesn't matter how many volume points, how many customers, how many members you have. If you put in the work now, then you'll reap the rewards over the last 6 months, next 6 months, 9 months. So I truly believe that this is so this was now the life-changing moment for me, and bright future, and really excited. Obviously got a lot of nuggets, but really looking forward to the next 6 months.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So well done.
Thanks.
There. Okay, so now I have asked a couple of other people just to give us a short one-liner. TK, you attended your first party. How did you enjoy that? Well done for that.
Thank you so much, Elsa. What I can say, it was fabulous with just being around the presidential team, experiencing presidential lifestyle, and just celebrating the hard work that we achieved as a team. It was great. I was surprised when I found out, and it was a great surprise. And thank you guys so much for being there for me, especially also supporting me in the journey. It really means a lot to do this business as a team. And what Herbalife has to offer was unbelievable. The future is bright, and it's in our hands. We have control over it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Morgan, you give us your thoughts. We're really getting the young guns here to give us a bit of a feel. Morgan? Okay, Julie.
Hi, everyone. What a life-changing event. What a time to be alive. First of all, one thing that I've learned is that we should scare ourselves. We should do things that we thought we are not able to do. And while we are doing that, we should arrive to our success in peace, not in pieces. And we should take everything fun, fun, fun. We should be excited all the time, but take our life seriously. So this event has actually changed my life. I feel like firing my boss and going full time, but at the same time I have to be full time and part time, but full time mentality. So definitely, Elsa, there is change, there is transformation in our lives. And I so wish that many guys can actually qualify. Even if they qualify, they will actually buy the tickets, and so that they can actually experience this thing, because this is what we are saying. It's not enough than what we have had and what we have eaten. We are so excited, we are so transformed, and we are going all out, guys.
Go. Yes, girl. Okay, you're going to travel the world next year. We're all going to go to Extravaganza in Europe. We're going to work hard for that. Okay, so Laverne, I want you to give us a one-liner, please.
Yes, thank you, Elsa. What always stands out to me is how the people that reach these top levels, how incredibly humble they are, although they've reached these amazing levels. And I know Super Mario said that they've got a big focus on personal development. They've got personal development Fridays in their teams, and you can clearly see they definitely work harder on themselves than what they do in their business. And they work, I almost wanted to say a D word, I'm not allowed to. They work freaking hard on their businesses, but they work even harder on themselves. And it was just visible again how humble somebody can be with such amazing numbers and with such a great business.
Great. And you want something that you're promoting tomorrow night?
Me, I'm doing the WhatsApp HRM tomorrow night. So be sure to invite as many people as you can. Get the link from the Dream Team coaches. I'm very, very excited.
And our gorgeous special guest is Susara Prinsloo. Very special story. Okay, great. We have Willem, this was your first LDW. Is there something you want to share with us, what you got out of the weekend?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I was really impressed by the number of people that were there. For one, just every time people got recognized, you wouldn't think that there would be like hundreds of people getting up that moved up in the business, which is just really impressive. You speak to a lot of people, and people are so skeptical out there, and I wish that they could just grab a glimpse of this to see that this is real. It's not hocus pocus, it's not airy fairy, but it's hard work still, as in any business. So it was wonderful. My wife and I enjoyed it a lot. It was a little bit too loud for me at times, but I guess I'm getting too old. Yeah, and so definitely getting some nuggets, a simple thing that Super Mario shared that I thought was great, also just having signed up my first member in the middle of last month, is to take them through the process of ordering a product or a few products for themselves, whether it be in person or whether it be on the phone or something like that, just so that they can get through the steps and understand, and that way they grow a bit, they get a bit more self-confidence, and they can also then place the orders that they need, and use the products and get results and share more, which is really just hands-on, and I love that kind of approach.
Great, thank you so much. Louise, I know this was your third, I can't remember how many times you've been to the LDW. Do you want to share with us what you got? Louise? Okay, seems she's got her. You must unmute yourself. Okay, well, if you get yourself unmuted, then you can just come in. Ace, do you want to close off with the testimonials? I want to go through a little bit about the the promotions still, but do you want to give a one-liner?
Hi, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. No, that was one of those weekends, you know, when you think you've seen it all, and it's like everybody says, you know, I think we all get exactly the same feeling when you come to one of these events, and you know, this is was one of those events where you think you've seen it all, then you get a guy who was on probation, you know, who can go to these different levels in the company, which is pretty awesome. And I think I'm very who said that they do a lot of personal development, and I think that's pretty key, because he said there that when he was in the bad times, he was very good. He was actually a very good gangster. On his lip, he had monster tattoos, so he was a very good gangster as well. So, you know, it just takes people who are very good in what they do and just show them a different way of doing it. So yeah, that weekend was pretty awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I highlighted, you guys have been looking at it. I think one of the things that stood out for me, I think, is do it scared, do it anyway. And I remember my early days when we went crazy and was just speaking to everybody. I quit his job about the second or third month that we were in the business when we decided, because, you know, it takes a decision to take it seriously. And this is what we saw with all these new presidents team and all the new recognition. At some stage, you've got to make a decision. And then you are a little bit nervous and you've got that like almost nauseous feeling on your tummy, but you just go out there and you go do it and you go speak to the next person. And as you go on, your confidence grows and you get better. The other one, belief is only a thought I keep thinking. It just, you know, it's such a great saying, because if you think I'm going to go press team, and you everything, or I'm going to go to the next level, I'm going to recruit 10 people, I'm going to recruit 40 people. This was their pitch from Virginia to a team. She said, listen, if we want to grow fast, we can't think of 10. We've got to go for 40. They've recruited 4,000 new members in their team in 1 year. So they didn't talk 10, they talked 40. I mean, it's like really crazy. I think then 10 becomes easy. And so Super Mario was singing, he said, you've got to go for the 10-10 song. It's the old Mark Hughes, speak to 10 people about the products, 10 people about the business, get 10 new people in your team, and eventually you want to do 10,000 points. So we're really going to work with the team on this, the guys that's ready to be business builders. We're going to follow Virginia's pointers on Business Builder Group. So I will send that out, and you guys can decide whether you're ready to join us and work with the movers and shakers. And then the one at the bottom there, reasons to your reasons are assets. Excuses is liabilities. And so sometimes life happens to all of us. Negative things happen, and it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to it, whether that's going to get you off track, whether it's actually going to, you know, you get through the difficulty and move on. And so what he says is, when people come with stories, he just starts playing this little violin. You know, it's like he doesn't, not that he doesn't care, he does care, but at the end of the day, you know, you've got to decide, you know, how much attention you can give to that. And then I also loved his pointers on the right-hand corner there about how to support, when you are a mentor, how to support your team. So I really loved that. And then you've got to make it a mission. You've got to become the Herbalife guy of your street, your area where you are. You know, you don't necessarily have to get a fancy name, but you want to just really get that passion. And then that is absolutely great. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. So I really loved his training. I was at the privilege of having lunch with him every day. He was sitting with us. You know, often we have these special guests. You don't really see them during the lunch. He was hanging out with us. He was sitting with us, having lunch and chatting to us. Just really such a down-to-earth, humble guy that he's happy to take the pictures after the time. And I think that's a pointer. When you get to press team, have that humble attitude. And the other thing is, I was very privileged to be on stage representing HNF. And so I really want us as a team to continue to have a focus on that. And we're going to do a Santa shoe project for Acres of Love in Cape Town. I was suggesting a shoe box with little gifts, and then the lady said to me they need shoes. So we're going to work together as a team to give back and give them some shoes. Okay, so let me run. The important thing is with these promotions running, I'm not going to spend time on this. Make sure that you understand them and give them out to your teams. If they go QP, they can also get this wonderful scale that works so great. We're working towards extravaganza. It's really about making a decision. Qualify, buy your ticket, get your accommodation. For the guys in Joburg, you can just drive down the road. Make sure you get your tickets, guys. It's going to sell out for sure. And our special guests are really going to entertain us. This is the guys that got their monies already, and we have opened up for another draw up till tonight. So we're going to have another draw actually tomorrow. So let's see what's going to be happening and getting another draw. We've got these great promotions that's also running. The different levels, make sure you know what they are, get some money back from us to build your business and get some money back at the same time. Great. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm so glad I was able to get through everything. Have a great last day of the month, closing off tonight at 12 o'clock. And I'm super excited working towards the extravaganza. We've got 6 weeks left. So let's really, get our focus on this. And Martin and Yvonne Ernst is just amazing leaders. So we will get great value there. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks, Elsa.
Bye, Elsa.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers, everyone.